Hi, good day to everyone. Now, today we are going to discuss about the second chapter of mathematics of class 8 CBSE syllabus. Now, the second chapter is related to linear equation in one variable. Now, in earlier classes or in earlier chapter, you might have studied about what they are mean by equations. In this chapter, we are going to specifically discuss about the linear equations with one variable. Here, one thing what we need to understand is what is meant by variable. So, variable means what? As the name indicates, variable. As the name suggests that the value varies. So, what is the value of this variable? We don't know. Okay. So, in the equations, whenever there are variables present, we have to find the value of the variables, and that variables can be in the form of x, y, z, or etc. They are mainly the letters. Okay. So this is about the variable. Now if you see about the equations, now there are different form of the equations. So some of the equations can be written as like, let's say 5x, 2xy, or let's say 3xyz, or let's say ax plus b, or let's say 3x square plus bxy, and so on. Okay, these are the different forms, and there can be many more different ways of writing the equation. Now here what we are saying is every number, now these are what the numbers, right? Every number is associated with one letter, and that letter is nothing but your variable. So 5x means what is the value of this 5x? We don't know. If you substitute x is equal to 1, then this will be 5. If you substitute x is equal to 2, then it will be 5 into 10. Like that the value goes on changing based on what value you are substituting in place of x. So that is how the variable holds a role in the equation. Okay. Now we need to discuss about the linear equation in one variable. In one variable means what? That your equation will have only one variable present. It cannot have multiple variables present in the equation. Now how we can define that? Now let's say any equation which is of the form ax plus b, this is nothing but your linear equation. Now the equations are mostly you might have seen that there is a condition associated that is equal to some value. Okay, is equal to some value. Now this kind of equations are nothing but they are called as algebraic equations. What are they? Algebraic equations. Okay, so what algebraic equation says, that the value of one particular side of the equation is equal to the other side of the equation. Okay, now how that is? Ax plus b is equal to 0. Now what I am saying, that the value of ax plus b will be equal to 0. Now how that we is going to satisfy, or how we need to find that the value on this side will be equal to 0, that in the examples we will see. So let us now understand that this side of the equation, it is called as LHS, and this side of the equation is called as RHS. So whenever we solve any kind of equation, it is not only related to linear equation in one variable, but any kind of equations, when you solve, when different variables are involved, and if you want to prove that the right hand side or the left hand side both are equal to one another, then we need to apply some of the logic of arranging the variables, logic of arranging the numbers, solving it, and then coming out with the solution. So this is how we need to solve the examples or related to equation. Now here how we can say that which kind of equation falls under your linear equation with one variable. Now whenever we say linear equation, okay, linear equation, always the power of the equation will be equal to 1. This will be the highest power, and this is nothing but what we can say it as highest power. This is your highest power of the equation. Now just see, we have two equations. One is ax plus b is equal to 0, and the same thing I will write as ax square plus b is equal to 0. Now this is one equation and this is one equation, right? Now here ax plus b is equal to 0. So in the linear equation, the highest power will always be equal to 1, and this power is associated with to your variable. This power is associated to your variable. Now in this equation, what are the variables? X is a variable and here x square is a variable. So the power of x here it is 2 and the power of x here it is 1, right? If nothing is denoted, it means it is 1. Other than 1, if it is 0, then we have to mention it. If it is minus 1, then we have to mention it. If it is plus 2, 3, 4, we have to mention it. So the highest power of the equation here it is what? 1. Okay, so what the definition says that in linear equation, whenever the highest power of a particular variable is 1, then that equation is called as linear equation, and if one variable is associated in the equation, then that becomes your linear equation with one variable. So in this case, this is your linear equation because it is satisfying the definition criteria, and in this case it is not linear equation. Okay, so this is how we need to identify which are the linear equations and which are not the linear equations. Hope this is clear to everyone to understand the beginning of the chapter, what is meant by linear equation in one variable. Now, when we solve further examples, then the idea will be much more clear that how we are going to solve the examples, how we are finding the value of variables, and how we are coming out with the results. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.